And the thing about the Arrow series is that it's the origin story, and therefore everything's so much more emotionally tied into the Oliver Deathstroke Slade Wilson story than any other relationship. You know, so you know the potential's there, but you know, look, it's a funny game that starts to happen when you find disagreement inside a production. And I've had it because I'm kind of like a vocal actor, you know, and a lot of times productions will want you to just go and say the lines in the script and let them move on and do their production. As an actor, I feel compelled at times to say, like, listen, I'm inside this character and I'm building him this way. Can you work with me on this? You'll always find in life 50% of people will say yes, 50% will say no. You know, you'll always find this balance of your ability to influence things. You know, sometimes I kick myself for ever raising my voice about certain issues. But then I turn around and I think to myself, like, I remember when I was filming with Peter Jackson and I was sitting on the back of this pommel horse, and it looked like this, the corner of this seat. And do you know what it was? It was my wag. Yeah. And I'm sitting in the studio on this thing that just looked like this. It didn't look like the animal, like the wag, you know, the big wolf that I rode. And we're about to shoot a scene. The scene we were going to shoot, who saw The Hobbit?
Have you seen The
So
Hobbit?
I just want to get you all into this moment.
It's a very good one.
So, you know the final scene of the first movie where Gandalf and Thorin and all the guys are up the trees and Azog rides down on his wag and they look up and they're up in the tree and they start throwing all those fiery pine cones and then the eagles come through and carry them away. So for some reason we were filming that scene as one of the first scenes we were going to shoot. And I was on this pommel horse with absolutely no instinctual feeling of being on a giant wag. And Peter was going, okay, we're going to film you, now we're going to ride down to the trees and you're going to find Thorin and that, and you're going to say to all the orcs around you, Kundenisi, Kundenash, which means, can you smell their fear? Now, to backtrack just a little bit, when I got rung up to play Azog, I got called 5 days before they wanted me to be down there at the studio to start filming. And I was still filming Spartacus, and I had no idea really how to play this giant orc. So the night before I went into filming, I got out Jaws and The Empire Strikes Back. I thought to myself, I've got to make an animal that's as scary as Jaws. And I'd seen this kind of a semi-rendered image of what Azog looked like. He looked a little bit like that guy. He was bald. I knew he was bald and big and strong, and so and he kind of had this sort of shark-like skin. So I thought about the movie Jaws, and Jaws. The good thing about Jaws was that you never, and I read the story about the making of Jaws, is that the more that they limited your ability to see the shark, the scarier it became that it was there. And so with Azog in the first movie, I did everything I possibly could to not have Azog's face in the camera going, "Argh," and to deflect the emotional signal